Learning in public universities remained paralyzed for the third consecutive week as lecturers vowed to stay put until the government pays 7.9 billion shillings, monies owed to them under the 2017 collective bargaining agreement. Addressing the media in Nairobi, WASU and KUSU union leaders further rejected the Salaries and Remuneration Commission's claim that the government owes them only 624 million shillings. Appearing before the Senate Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba said there is a stalemate after the Salaries and Remuneration Commission indicated that 7.2 billion shillings of the 7.9 billion shillings was paid, accusing the lecturers of insincerity in their demands. Take a look.
Country are at a standstill as lecturers' strike persists for a third week now, with thousands of students affected by the paralysis.
We shall never be divided.
Speaking in Nairobi on Wednesday, University Academic Staff Union Secretary General Dr. Constantine Wasonga accused the government of reneging on its pledge to pay 7.9 billion shillings in the 2017-2021 collective bargaining agreement.
7.9 billion is non-negotiable. The only thing remaining is payment. And as you verify, get it, our members will be waiting outside. So you better expedite the verification.
Despite Vice Chancellors having warned staff to return to work or face disciplinary action, union officials remain defiant.
You are our colleagues. I've never seen headmasters or principals of secondary schools issuing ultimatum to NAT or KUPPET. Who bewitched you? Get hold of the skunk and slay it. Don't run away into these threats, threatening our members all over the place. It is their right to be paid.
His counterpart, Kenya University Staff Union Secretary General Charles Mukwaya, faulted the Salaries and Remuneration Commission for what he said is misleading the public by stating the government owes them only 624 million shillings.
The Salaries and Remuneration Commission's claim of a mere 624 million shillings as the outstanding amount for the 2017-2021 CBA is a gross misrepresentation of a settled legal facts.
Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba says the 7.9 billion shillings being claimed by lecturers in the 2017-2021 collective bargaining agreement is suspect.
SRC informs us that that amount of 7.9 billion has been paid to the extent of 7.2 billion, leaving a balance of 624 million. So there is a question of how much is outstanding between what the unions are asking for and what the government is saying is owed.
Ogamba said the court directed the strike to be called off to allow for reconciliation.
The union makes us strong.
Now, away from that, the Kenya National Union of Nurses has condemned an attack on striking nurses in Siaya County, accusing the county government of hiring the goons to intimidate the striking workers. The union's Secretary General Seth Panyako says the nurses will not succumb to intimidation, warning that their demands must be met by the county government of Siaya before they resume work. Siaya non-officials say about 20 nurses were injured during the fracas. In Siaya on Tuesday, during their continued strike outside Siaya County government offices. The nursing fraternity on Wednesday came out guns blazing. The Kenya National Union of Nurses, led by Secretary General Seth Panyako, faulted the attack, warning that unleashing terror on the nurses will not cow them to end the strike.
That you must desist from using an orthodox method, root, unconstitutional, and barbaric method of resolving the issues that affect the nurses of Siaya County government.
The nurses decried non-remittance of statutory deductions, failure to implement the Salaries and Remuneration Commission circular, and delays in honoring their collective bargaining agreement.
Itakuwaje leo unaenda mbele, mnavunja mmoja wetu, unawapiga, wanavuja damu barabarani wakidai haki, ili hali hawa ni wauguzi.
If you do not resolve these issues, then you may end up deploying these goons to serve the people of Siaya, if that is what they want.
This as non-officials, Siaya chapter, a section of MCAs, Siaya Passenger Service Vehicle Union officials gave an ultimatum for the arrest of perpetrators of the attack.
If they cannot engage with the executive, we as Assembly are ready as the Health Committee so that we can hear their grievances and see the way forward, how we can solve it.
We want to say that if some of our members got involved there, we shall take action with an immediate effect.
Whichever goons, we will not bend or we will not be subdued to the efforts and the strength of goons.
To our governor, sisi tunaomba tu tusikize, our grievances tusikize, sisi hatuna ubaya. Ukishatumiza tu grievances zetu, sisi tutarudi tu makazi, hatuna ubaya.
They said senior Siaya County government leadership cannot escape scrutiny for allowing goons to access the governor's office shortly before the mayhem.
We urgently want a public apology by the county boss, the governor of Siaya, Wakili James Agri Orengo, to the nurses of Siaya and also to the nurses of Kenya.
20 nurses are said to have sustained injuries and 5 mobile phones were stolen during the melee. Now, the National Police Service Commission and the National Police Service have warned against engaging in graft ahead of the start of the police recruitment exercise scheduled to kick off this Friday. In a joint media briefing, they revealed they plan to recruit 10,000 police constables across the country during a 5-day exercise. National Police Service Commission Chairperson Dr. Amani Kamora and National Police Service Inspector General Douglas Kanja urged the recruiting teams to ensure they uphold high standards of professionalism and integrity when conducting the exercise. Further, they called on all investigative agencies to monitor the recruitment exercise and anyone found demanding bribes or engaging in acts of graft to be held accountable. The 5-day exercise will be held between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m.
The recruitment that of police officers that is about to commence, that will be commencing on Friday 3rd. The officers have been here the whole day. They have actually been taken through the motions, the training of what is it that we expect them to do well in the future. I also want to warn the public that if there is anyone who is going to be involved on matters corrupt practices, both the giver and the taker will have their time in the court.
We have been in discussions with as a commission and agreed on the general roadmap, the frameworks and the parameters to use in order to deliver the 10,000 constables within the shortest time possible.
Now to the corridors of justice. Former Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Waitito will remain in custody after the High Court declined to review his bond terms, rejecting his plea to deposit 53 million shillings in cash instead of a bank guarantee. Justice Lucy Njuguna ruled that the terms were fair and based on evidence presented, adding that no further applications would be entertained. She has directed the councils to focus on the appeal, which must be concluded within 120 days. Our reporter Letua Debra has the details.
During the mention, Waitito's lawyer told the court that their client was unable to raise the required bank guarantee of 53 million shillings and instead sought permission to deposit the amount in cash. The request, however, was turned down, with Justice Lucy Njuguna cautioning that further applications will only delay the case. She reminded both the defense and the prosecution that the appeal must be concluded within the 120-day period already set, noting that some of Waitito's co-accused remain in custody and have raised concerns about the slow pace of the case. The former governor was convicted alongside his wife Susan Wangari on corruption-related charges, now faces an uphill battle as his appeal awaits.
It was only crime.
Elsewhere, Egypt Power Company Director Yasser Abdel Wahab Mohammed was arraigned at Milimani Law Courts, where he denied charges of obtaining 2.3 million Kenya shillings from Nasra Ibrahim and the false pretenses to import a water filtration machine. The court heard that the alleged offence occurred between March and November 2024, with the prosecution seeking bond terms commensurate with the amount involved, with the defence arguing it was a business dispute and not fraud. The magistrate released him on a cash bail of 200,000 Kenya shillings and ordered him to deposit his passports. In former Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko has scored a major victory after the High Court ordered the Assets and Recovery Agency to unfreeze 537 million Kenya shillings over alleged money laundering. In his ruling, Judge Nixon Sifuna said Assets and Recovery Agency failed to provide sufficient evidence linking the funds to criminal activity, ordering the agency to immediately release the money to Sonko.
The court has finally said whatever money that has been frozen for the last 5 years belonging to Governor Sonko is part of his property. Article 40, sub-article 3 of the Constitution vests in every Kenyan, every one of us.
Finally, the land case fraud against Rafas Kihara, a former assistant county commissioner, proceeded virtually at the Rumuruti Law Courts after the magistrate cited health issues. Kihara is accused of forging a land transfer document for Pase Sipili Ndonyoloi block, allegedly signed by its rightful owner Christine Wangari Gachege, and later presenting it at the Rumuruti Land Registry. He also faces abuse of office, and the matter will proceed in a hybrid format.
Now, Kenya and China have concluded talks on the elimination of tariffs on agricultural products destined for the Chinese market. President William Ruto says Kenya will partner with China in developing and expanding logistics and processing capabilities through export processing zones.
To quadruple tea exports to China by the year 2030, which is a 1.4 billion person market that offers huge trade potential to Kenyan farmers. But to achieve this, some of the agricultural products exported to China, such as tea, coffee and avocados, need unlimited access to the Chinese market. To enable this, Kenya is working with the government of China to ease access to its market.
We have just concluded agreement with the government of China, with the African continent, on elimination of tariffs on all our agricultural products, from tea to coffee to avocados to macadamia and all the other products.
To expand and create jobs with more opportunities to locals, Kenya is turning to the private sector to improve export facilities and surrounding infrastructure.
Products that will be manufactured in our special economic zones in Kenya, there will be an exhibition for those products here for other markets. There will also be an exhibition for other products from other parts of the world. And I must congratulate the investors who have demonstrated confidence in Kenya by putting this investment.
Speaking during the laying of the foundation stone for the China-Kenya International Commerce Center, a mixed-use development project at the Jamhuri Showground in Nairobi, President William Ruto said the project, which is promoted by China Plaza Group, aligns with Vision 2030 and the bottom-up economic transformation agenda.
These friends, the investors who have confidence in our country, they are going to invest 5 billion shillings in this facility, and it is because we have worked on making sure that those who want to invest in Kenya will know that there is a stable economic environment.
The 5 billion shillings project spans more than 68,000 square meters.
Now, architects are calling for urgent police action to decentralize development projects and strengthen professional accreditation in the built environment sector. The Architectural Association of Kenya is also calling for incentives to encourage development projects in the counties. Regina Manyara has the details.
Kenya currently has an estimated 1,500 accredited architects and 1,000 quantity surveyors, with the majority concentrated in Nairobi and Mombasa, leaving many counties underserved.
Level of getting someone who at the degree level and can be accredited as architects, as planners, as quantity surveyors, that's what is missing. We still have few numbers up there.
This has resulted in high numbers of substandard structures, weak enforcement from building codes, and limited access to professional services.
And the fact that our cities are currently growing without plans, without architects, should not be an opportunity, and at the same time, it should be a red flag that whether we are in the space or not.
The Architectural Association of Kenya President, Architect John Dega, says stronger county-level projects will not only spread economic opportunities, but also provide critical pathways for graduate architects and engineers to practice and grow their careers.
You know, each and every county has got a major urban area that has been developed either as a municipality or as a city. We must attract the professionals to come down and work with the county so that we can have sustainable urban development.
We're aware of the challenges, particularly the land question along the waterfront, but we are committed to unlocking this potential.
Further, architects want deliberate policies that incentivize investment and projects in the counties to foster better infrastructure, fairer distribution of contracts, and stronger collaboration between the counties and accredited professionals.
According to the NBI, that's the National Building Inspectorate, up to 80% of our built environment is irregular and do not involve professionals. It is not possible for us to urbanize appropriately or even get close to our decarbonization goals if we do not use professionals from the word go.
With Kenya's population set to double over the next decades and drive demand for infrastructure, public spaces, and better housing in light of climate change, experts warn that without professionalism in this particular building and construction niche, the cases of unsafe buildings as well as stalled projects is likely to rise. Some of the issues that are going to be put into perspective in the ongoing AAK annual convention that is taking place right here in Kisumu City, Kisumu County.
No, thank you, Regina Manyara, for the report all the way from Kisumu. And now let me take you to sports. This is what happened in case you didn't watch. This was a spectacular Champions League showdown yesterday or yesternight. And now this is what happened. Karabag FK beat FC Copenhagen 2-0. And Union's Galois and Newcastle 4-0. Newcastle beat Union's St. Galois 4-0. And that is good performance by, of course, Newcastle from England. And Monaco versus Manchester City, they went a draw of 2-2. And of course, Arsenal versus Olympiacos. Arsenal fans, congratulations. But as they say, ni kama muliangukia 2-0, 2-0. Ni kama waliangukia. And then Barcelona, of course, versus Champions League. Barcelona succumbed to defeat 2-1. Paris Saint-Germain beat Barcelona 2-1. And of course, Bayer Leverkusen and PSV Eindhoven, they went a draw of 1-1. Borussia Dortmund beat Atletico Club 4-1. Yes. And of course, Napoli versus Sporting CP. Napoli won this game by 2-1. How about Villarreal versus Juventus? They went to, they squared in a draw of 2-2. Arsenali ni kama waliangukia hii game. As the director is saying, I agree. I really agree. That's all we have for you. My name is Giva Sumaina. Indeed, you've been having a good morning.